Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Do please like and subscribe, and don't forget on 2nd of December, that's a Tuesday, at 7 p.m. here, we're going to do a live broadcast. A live broadcast, you join in, ask me questions live, type them in and I'll do it live on air. So that I hope you're looking forward to that. I certainly am. Are you going to attend? I hope you will. Yeah, now we're going to talk today about the crazy antics, the strange ways of Strangeways, weird people and their odd behaviour. I'm going to discuss that now. And don't forget, Volume 4 of my book will be published before Christmas, so I'll let you know here, and it's going to be on Amazon. It's published by Gadfly Press. I've written it. It's with the publishers, so it shouldn't be too long now. Right, let's talk about Strangeways at Strangeways. Yeah. I came in on duty one morning, and I was a hospital officer. I was there about 10 to 7, something like that, in the morning to take over from the night duty officer. It was a senior officer. I could call him Billy. Bobby Whiz, that's who it was. I call him Bobby Whiz. It's written about in my second book, or my third, the second book, third book. It's volume 3. It's written about him. Yeah, so Bobby Whiz was the hospital officer, and I was a hospital officer, but he was a senior hospital officer, So again, it said, we've had a bit of trouble in the night. He said, there's been a lot of people kicking off. He said, we've run out of strip cells. I said, run out of strip cells? Yeah, all right. Well, I said, so what is the problem you've got now? He said, well, I've had to two them up. I said, yeah, two them up? What do you mean? He said, well, if you have a look in this cell here, you've got too many. So I actually opened the cell and had a look inside, and there were 2 naked men, sedated, flat out on the floor, piss and excrement all over the place, and 2 naked blokes on the floor. I wonder if they knew each other. Imagine doing that. There's got to be something wrong with the way you think if you're going to do that. You just certainly don't do anything like that, do you? Anyway, he got hauled over the coals for that. Bobby Whiz, yeah, he was a strange character. Always telling me about I'm going to have my extension done at this house and all the rest of it. Weird fella. And one day, seriously, this is how I came to get out of the prison system. I was on duty on the ward. I was the officer in charge of the psychiatric ward and the inpatient ward at Strangeways, and it was located upstairs on the first floor. So I was just going up there. I got a cup of coffee in my hand and I was going up to my duty, and he starts shouting at me, I want a word with you, Mr. Sutton, I want a word with you. I said, I'm not in the mood, to talk to you. I'm going about my duties, I said, if you really want to talk to me, issue a charge and stick me in front of the governor or whatever. I'm going about my duties. Anyway, I got about halfway up the stairs, quite a steep staircase, and this maniac, Bobby Whiz, come running up behind me and grabbed hold of the back of my tunic, because I had one of these white nursing tunics on, stethoscope and all the rest of it. He grabbed hold of the back of my tunic and started to pull me backwards down the stairs. I had a cup of coffee in my right hand, so I spun round and with my left hand lifted him off his feet with one mighty blow. He lifted up in the air and crashed down the stairs, hitting the bottom, where he was unconscious for a minute or so. Anyway, they carried him off. And what was I going to do? I have to protect myself. He was going to injure me, So, about an hour later, I got called down to the chief officer. Right, Mr. Sutton, what happened? I told him what happened. He said, no, I'm not accepting that. He said, you're suspended from duty. Go and report to the disciplined chief officer, he'll find you something to do. I thought, right, I know what to do, all right. So I went and got all my gear out of my locker in the hospital unit where we were working. Got it all my gear, put it into a backpack, so I put it on my shoulders, went to the gate, got my bike out of the bike shed, threw my keys in, and I ain't never been back since. Strange place, that Strangeways. I ain't going there. I won't go in there again. I've been assaulted numerous times. And talk about strange behaviour, Norman Brown. One day, this is absolute. I was in charge of the records office. That's all the prisoners, all the lot that come into Strangeways, get issued with a prison record. It's got their committal warrants in there, their photograph, details of the thing, any offences that they've committed, etc. So I was in charge of all that for everybody in the prison, and it would be about 2 o'clock in the afternoon of February, I believe it was, and Norman Brown come charging into the office, into my records office, that is. He was covered in filth and muck. "You bastard Sutton," he says, "you burnt my office down." So I haven't been anywhere. I'm looking after the records office, writing everything up. "You've done it, you." I said, "Oh, please just sit down." So I got him sat down, and I phoned up the chief officer. I said, "You better come and see the governor. There's something wrong. He's accusing me of burning his office down." So next thing you know, all hell let loose. What had happened was he'd been pissed up in the club, come back, decided he was going to have a sleep, he had a Calagas fire, He lit his Calagas fire, drew the curtains. Unfortunately for him, he was pissed, so he drew the curtains over the Calagas fire. The Calagas fire and the curtains ignited, and set his office on fire. And he blamed me. He was covered in soot and filth. Yeah, they took him. The chief officer came down and they took him away. I don't know what they did with him. One night, I was on duty, and it would be about midnight, 11:30, midnight, and we get a call from the gate. Somebody, the police had arrived at the prison, said they'd arrested a man in the middle of Manchester for being drunk and disorderly, and he'd claimed that he was the governor of the Strangeways prison. So the duty principal officer went to the gate, and sure enough, it wasn't the governor, it was the deputy governor. So he said, "Oh yeah, well, this man is the deputy governor of the prison." Right, I said, "Well, find him somewhere to sleep tonight, because if he comes out of here again, we'll arrest him and put him in the cells." So they brought this deputy governor in, who was 3 sheets to the wind. He was all over the place. And you would have thought that he'd be thankful, that he'd been rescued from the arms of the police who were going to charge him. But no, he said, "I'm going to do an inspection of all the Category A's in the prison." Gone midnight by this time. So I don't know why the principal officer didn't just say to him, "No, you're not, piss off," but he didn't. He took him round and he woke all the bloody Category A's up. Drunk as I don't know. Anyway, I don't think he got into any trouble for that. It was reported to the governor, but Norman Brown was, he'd got a drinking buddy there, so he didn't do anything about it. Strange behaviour at Strangeways, I tell you. A lot worse than that, and there's more to come in Volume 4. You'll see it there. And if you've got any stories, anybody who's been in prison, whether you work in the prison or if you've been in prison and you've got some stories you want to tell, contact me. Send me a little note, in the comments below, and I will respond to you, and we can have a talk, and I'll write it up, because I'm doing another book, you see. And it's that time of day. I'm going to do a poem now. This is, somebody suggested that I do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night, but I couldn't find it, but I have found Dylan Thomas's And Death Shall Have No Dominion. And I'll read it the way that Dylan Thomas read it. If you ever heard Dylan Thomas reading his poems, it was kind of a little bit of a ham acting, you know. But he was very effective, and there are his poems. And Death Shall Have No Dominion by Dylan Thomas. And death shall have no dominion. Dead men naked, they shall be one with the man in the wind and the west moon. When their bones are picked clean and the clean bones gone, they shall have stars at elbow and foot. Though they go mad, they shall be sane. Though they sink through the sea, they shall rise again. Though lovers be lost, love shall not, and death shall have no dominion. And death shall have no dominion. Under the windings of the sea, they lying long shall not die windily, twisting on racks when sinews give way, strapped to a wheel, yet they shall not break. Faith in their hands shall snap in two, and the unicorn evils run through. Then split ends up, they shan't crack, and death shall have no dominion. And death shall have no dominion. No more may gulls cry at their ears, or waves break loud on the seashores. Where blew a flower, may a flower no more lift its head to the blows of the rain, though they be mad and dead as nails. Heads of the characters hammer through daisies, break in the sun till the sun breaks down, and death shall have no dominion. And Death Shall Have No Dominion by Dylan Thomas. And yes, folks, you've guessed it. It's that time of day. Song dinger has been wrong. You've been warned. Yeah, Larry the Goat Herd. If you listen carefully, you'll probably hear him running with his goat into the Yorkshire moors. Bob the Bob, are you all right? Hazel and Aidan and all the rest of the regulars here. And don't forget, as I said, 2nd of December, Tuesday, 7 p.m. I'm going to sing you a song now. And to sing this song, I'm going to indulge a little bit. There we have it. That's John's Little Whiskey. Quite nice, actually. This is a song by Chris Stapleton, also recorded by that paedophile PJ Provey. This is Whiskey and Me, or Whiskey and You. That's the name of the song. There's a bottle on the dresser by your ring, and it's empty. So right now I don't feel a thing. I'll be hurting when I wake up on the floor, but I'll be over it by noon. And that's the difference between whiskey and you. Come tomorrow, I can walk in any store. It ain't a problem. They'll always sell me more. But your forgiveness, well, that's something I can't buy. There ain't a thing that I can do. And that's the difference between whiskey and you. One's a devil, one keeps driving me insane. At times I wonder if they ain't both the same. But one's a liar that helps to hide me from my pain, and one's a long gone bitter truth. And that's the difference between whiskey and you. I got a problem, but it ain't like what you think. I drink 'cause I'm lonesome, and I'm lonesome 'cause I drink. But if I don't break down and bring it on myself, it'll hit right out of the blue. And that's the difference between whiskey and you. One's the devil, one keeps driving me insane. At times I wonder, oh, if they ain't both the same. But one's a liar, helps to hide me from my pain. And one's the long gone bitter truth. And that's the difference between whiskey and you. And that's the difference between whiskey and you. Cheers, folks. It's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Do please like and subscribe, and don't forget to buy my books, folks.